Henry and Maria were surprised by how their newborn baby, Jane, acted. Jane seemed really interested in Henry's chest, constantly touching, pointing, and even sitting on it. Initially, Henry and Maria found this amusing, but eventually, they became concerned and decided to consult a doctor. The doctor was shocked when he heard about Jane's actions. The doctor urgently advised Henry and Maria that Henry needed to go to the hospital immediately, as the situation could be dangerous. Although the doctor had a hunch about the problem, he needed to examine Henry to confirm his suspicions. Maria and Henry quickly drove to the hospital, and upon the initial examination, the doctor became visibly concerned. More tests were conducted, and the doctor's initial expectation that Henry would be in good health was challenged. To understand their living conditions better, the doctor asked some basic questions about their lifestyle. When he learned that Henry worked out 5 times a week and ate healthily, he was surprised. Despite his confusion about the situation, the doctor left the room quickly with the patient's file. While walking in the hospital, the doctor could not help but think about his health condition. How did this man get himself into this situation? The moment the doctor walked away for extra examinations, he left Henry and Maria in the doctor's office. Henry got even more frustrated than he already was. He shouted towards the assistant that the doctor needed to come back. The doctor came back as soon as he could. Henry calmed down and now had the chance to inspect him a little bit closer. When he took a closer look at his chest, everything changed. The doctor knew what he was looking at and froze in his tracks. The doctor asked Henry if he had relatives that had been ill and needed to come to the hospital as well, which complaints related to their chest. Henry began to think of relatives. He could not think of any. The doctor asked Henry about his past, but not his medical past. He asked about his parents. Henry did not understand why they had died years ago. Why did the doctor want to know anything about his parents? It was already really tragic for Henry to talk about it. Henry's parents died years ago in a tragic car accident. They had been together for years, and Henry was in the back seat when his father lost control of the vehicle. Henry survived, but his parents did not. But this was something that the doctor did not necessarily expect. He had other information. He did not want to deny Henry's loss, so he wanted to investigate and be sure to say the right things. He asked more about his parents. The doctor knew about the car accident of his parents, but the doctor found something that even Henry could not know. But he had to do a DNA test to be 100% sure. How could he bring it nicely to Henry? The doctor found a way by doing some examinations that needed some DNA samples. When the results came back and the doctor had a look at it, he was shocked. The doctor was right all along. Henry and his father were not a match based on their DNA. Of course, Henry did not know this, but how was the doctor going to tell this? Then the doctor had a good idea. Maybe there was another person in the database that matched with Henry. Maybe his real father was a patient at their hospital as well. After the assistant came back with those results, the doctor really turned pale. He had not seen this coming. There was a 100% match. However, the doctor was shocked when he saw the name that matched with Henry. Moreover, he now had to call the police. Surely, Henry could not know this, but the doctor had to do his duty. He waited for the police to arrive before he got back to Henry. Not only was the doctor entering the office, but the police were alongside him. "Sir, you need to come with us," the police said. Henry was shell-shocked. Why did he have to come with the police? He did not know anything. The police told him that they would explain it at the police station. When they arrived at the police station, he had to sit in the interrogation room. The police asked him some questions about his youth, why he was at the hospital, and about his wife, Maria, who was waiting at the police station. They asked him about his whereabouts since his parents died. They asked how well he knew what his mother did in her earlier years, how long she had been together with Henry's dad, and after that, the police showed some photos. They were photos of his mother with multiple male figures. Who were these guys? Henry asked. Why did they want to know this? What has his late mother had to do with anything? Henry got angry again. He did not accept this situation. He wanted to know about his health condition. Henry, we have to tell you something, the police said. Apparently, Henry's mother had a lot of affairs when she was younger, also around the time Henry was born. They told Henry that his biological father wasn't the same man who raised him. His biological father was one of those guys, but that man wasn't necessarily a good citizen. He was known for being a criminal. They couldn't catch him for years, but with finding out that Henry was his son, they might have a lead. The police asked Henry to approach the man. Not only could they catch him then, it was also a possibility to find out about his health condition. Had it something to do with his father? Could the doctor finally find out what it is? It still scared him. Henry agreed to help the police. The next day, he had to approach him, hoping to win his faith by being his son. Maybe he could get him to talk. Henry was really nervous when he approached him, but that would soon change. His father's name was Marcus. He greeted him right away. Henry wanted to tell him immediately that he was his son, but he didn't seem interested in Henry at all, so he didn't get the chance. What now? How could he get in contact? The police told him that he needed to go to his house. They would immediately back him up. He knocked on the door, and the same man opened the door. Henry immediately said, "I am your son." His reaction was something Henry did not expect. "I knew it," said the old man. He started to cry and embraced Henry right away. Marcus told Henry that he always knew that his mother was completely honest to Marcus. They talked for a while, but Henry knew he needed something from him. He had to get the answers that the police wanted. Henry asked about what he did for a living, and shortly after, Marcus admitted to some crimes. This was the moment the police went in. Henry was scared, but at the same time relieved. Marcus was taken into custody, and Henry was thanked for his effort. Although it was his father, it did not really feel like it. After that, he was allowed to go back to the hospital for further examinations. When he got back to the hospital with Maria, the doctor started to examine Henry straight away. Apparently, his father, Marcus, had an inheritable lung disease which was really rare. The doctor was scared that Henry would have the same disease. After hours of examinations, the doctor could give them the news. Henry did not have this disease, but he had a minor lung injury which was noticed by their baby. But with some medication, this would not last long. Additionally, Henry did not feel unwell. They were permitted to return home, and their gratitude was solely directed towards their baby Jane. They were incredibly thankful for her. Despite the challenging days, Henry was content that he could also assist the police. He also gained further insight into his deceased parents, whom he continued to hold in high regard despite the revelations. Following these demanding days, more positive news emerged. Henry wished to marry his supportive wife, Maria. They traveled to an exotic island for their wedding, where they celebrated their enduring love for each other.